Welcome to this week's episode of Serving the Community podcast. Each week, your host Trisha Stetzel is highlighting people and organizations in our communities that are serving through volunteer work and giving back to make our community, country, and even the world a kinder place to live. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Serving the Community podcast. My name is Trisha Stetzel, owner of Results Extreme Business Solutions and founder of Serving the Community podcast. I'm really excited about the guest that I have on with me today. Her name is Debra Marshall, and she was actually introduced to me by a mutual friend, Kristen Day. We were just having a great conversation about her before we started. So Debra, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me on. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kristen introduced us because I was on the lookout for people who are serving the veteran community, and that's how she introduced us. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, your day job, and then we'll get into how you're giving back to the veteran community.
Sure. So my day job is being a realtor. I am a realtor with Flex Real Estate. I've been a realtor for about 6 years now. And, I really enjoy working with my clients. And it's something that's transitioned more into more of a niche working with the veteran community, just because of the work I do in the veteran community. It just kind of was a happy marriage for me. So I'm really enjoying the space I'm in right now.
That's awesome. So let's dig into what it is that you're doing in the veteran community. I know you love to work in that space in your real estate business, and you're also serving in some other ways. So what is it that you're doing in the community with the veterans today?
So what I'm doing in the veteran community, I'm part of a couple of amazing organizations. One primarily is called SERVE, and it stands for Southeast Resource Veteran Effort. And when I joined them, it was they were referred by a mutual friend of mine who was an Army Ranger, and I needed some help with a friend of mine's dad, who's a World War II veteran. His home had flooded during Harvey. They replaced, repaired the home. The contractor did not replace the roof, so everything got wet again, had to be completely ripped out. So we came on board when I heard about it through my friend, that he was still living in a house with no sheetrock. There was mold in the home. He's, a World War II veteran. He served under General Patton. And when we went to go meet him, I was like, okay, this is not acceptable. Let's see what we can do. And I started just reaching out to anybody that I knew. And, my friend Andy told me about Serve. And before we knew it, Serve came out and they evaluated the house. Rob Hafner's he's a Army veteran, and he came on board and he just started taking charge. This is what we're going to do. This is the plan. And, a couple of months later, we had the house rebuilt. The roof was donated for free, a complete brand new roof. The house was redone, electrical work. And it just was an amazing effort by everyone. And that sort of became my new family. And once I found out about them, there's so many veteran service organizations that are part of SERVE. And we all come together once a month to discuss the needs of the veteran community. And I'm just part of the team with them. So when those cases requests for help come across, we see what we can do, who can pitch in, who's got that resource. Let's help this veteran that's fallen between the cracks that needs help.
I love that. And we didn't have the opportunity to talk about this, but Rob Hefner is a very good friend of mine.
You know him
So yet
well.
another, I do. And yeah, so as you described him coming in and taking control, and yes, that is exactly what Rob does.
Yeah,
And the
retired
Hefners
lieutenant
are,
colonel. That's what he did.
that's right.
I was in
Absolutely. The
awe of
Hefners
him
are
because, yes,
amazing. Yeah.
yes.
That's great. I love that. And Serve is an excellent resource that many don't know about. And, it's so interesting to me, Debra, how small you think the world is so broad. And so many of us that were in the military as active duty have served all over the planet, and we don't realize how small the world really is. And we continue to see the same faces over and over again because those are the people that are serving the community. And I think that is so important. I love that you're part of that organization. And Kristen had actually, when she introduced us, sent over the article about this story that you just told. And it gives me goosebumps when you talk about that, how we, as human beings, are really giving that outreach to people who deserve it. They deserve to be taken care of. And I appreciate the service that you've given back and everything that you've done with Serve and in that space. So let's talk a little bit about the real estate space. I know there are, gosh, there's so many resources that our veterans are missing out on, and even working with a realtor who's familiar with veterans. So let's talk a little bit in that space.
Yeah, so there are so many resources available to them, and I have a little. I've actually done some classes for Combined Arms. Had me come on board and do a class for some of their allies that they have. They're here for the first time in America, and they've transitioned here, and they want to live the American dream. And I was honored to do a presentation for them. But they have a lot of questions. They come to the city, and like I said, they may not know where they want to move, and I love walking them through those steps. And they need somebody that's going to be patient. And I'm that type of person that I don't mind. I'm always answering my texts, I'm answering my phone calls, and they need that reassurance, and I provide that for them. And I'm happy to do so, because having them relocate here, it's an honor to have them here. Obviously, we have a great veteran community here in the Houston area, and I love adding more to that. I also, any of my clients that are veterans or active duty that I close homes with, I donate part of my commission to a local veteran service organization by paying it forward. Because I think it's important, especially those small VSOs that don't get a lot of attention. I like to work, keep an eye on them. I partner with them, and I come back and pay it forward by donating part of my commission to them. So I just really truly believe in giving back any way I can. And this year, I'm actually doing something different that I haven't done. I want to compile a list of veteran business owners that I can maybe buy, housewarming gifts from, and continue to pay it forward to the veteran community in that way. So
I love that. So, if you're a veteran business owner and you've got some products out there, Deborah might want to talk to you, right? I love that. I think that is just amazing. And having a realtor that is connected to those resources, someone like you, is so important. And we talked about, before we started the show this morning, about how you're even helping active duty the people who are transitioning here to Houston, and having somebody who's connected to the veteran community to help them get through the things that they need, because there are so many resources out there that we as veterans don't know about. And because you become the connector, you
yes,
can get us to those resources. And also being plugged in to the other VSOs that are out there, veteran service organizations. It's so important, so important. Well,
absolutely.
I'm excited to invite you to the Veterans Chamber of Commerce, at least to just come meet some folks, because
Absolutely.
we've got veteran business owners, we have VSOs, veteran support organizations, and we even have Patriot owned business owners that come to that meeting, who really just want to give back to the veteran groups, right, that are
Yes.
out there, the veterans that are out there, and support them. So let's talk about getting involved, and how do people get involved with Serve if that's something that they want to do? How can they connect with you if they feel like they have a resource that could fit into your basket of goodies, right? As you're helping people transition into Houston, how can people get involved?
Well, they are more than welcome to reach out to me via email or cell phone. I'm happy to share my phone. I am a realtor, so my number is out there. It's not anything private. So it's 281-798-2551. Feel free to call me, message me if you feel like that's something that you want to get involved in. We do have monthly meetings. The next one, I believe, is January 13th. It's the second Thursday of every month. We meet at ACU in League City. off of 96. That's typically where we meet. And they do have Zoom options as well for people that cannot attend or not comfortable attending in person just yet. So we've been conducting hybrid meetings for a while. I do go in person because I love the personal connection of meeting people in person. So I will occasionally, I haven't been doing it as much lately, but I will post on my Facebook um, opportunities for volunteering. Like there's not just in the veteran community. Like I'm going to be, I support their Turning Point. They have a gift wrapping opportunity where I'm going to go and support that shelter. I'm also part of the Houston Rodeo Armed Forces Committee. I'm a rookie, so I'm very excited about that opportunity for me. My friend, who's the chairman, also Air Force veteran, John Spike Garcia, he appointed me to that committee, and I'm so blessed to be part of that, to continue giving back to my veterans in that space. World War II veterans, our senior veterans, are my passion. They're my sweethearts, and that's going to be part of my duties, is escorting them during Armed Forces Appreciation Day. So I'm excited about that. But feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. You can also go to SERV's website. It's southeasttexasheroes.com. So it's setexasheroes.com. You can find out more information about Serve on there. If you have a veteran that you know of that is in need in the community, there's an application that you can click on, that, a request form, and that comes across. And we have a team that reviews the request, and it's sent out to everyone that's on the email list, or we discuss it in person at the meetings once a month. So there's plenty of opportunities. I know Jay Kopic, who is the leader of Serve. He's got a lot of big stuff in store for 2022. We do mainly have been focusing on the Galveston County area, but Serve Connections, the network has grown so much. We've expanded to other outlying counties. So if there's anyone knows of a need out there, please go on their website and see how you can refer for the request.
We were destined to meet each other because I know all of these people. I'm like, yes, Spike's my friend. I know Jay, right? So we were definitely destined to meet. Thank you, Debra, for so much. I don't know when you have time to actually do your day job with all of the volunteering that you're doing, but it means so much to the veteran community in the way that you're giving back. And there are so many people out there that need the help, and they don't know about these resources, and really just getting the word out. That's my mission, is getting the word out about all of these resources that people have access to and they may not know it.
Yes,
So as
and I
we
hear
close,
that. Sorry, I hear that all the time from people, just real quick, that they don't know those resources that are available. So it's very important, just like you said, to get the word out. They don't know that there's VSOs, that they can donate to them to continue their calls out in the community. And, I love to share it as much as I get. The passion. I'm an Army veteran daughter, so I give back to honor my dad, who's my hero. So I'm happy to have met you, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
you're very welcome. And one of the things that I wanted to touch on before we close is the conversation we were having about don't leave people alone during the holiday season. I know the first thing that I asked you when we got on the phone today was, what's on your mind? And let's start there. So what is on your mind today?
Yeah. So, like I said, my senior vets, I feel like they really can be forgotten about, and it's my mission to make sure that they are not, and just anyone in general, but to let them know they're not alone. They are not alone. There are people out there that care, and it's just something so simple, just a phone call, a Christmas card, just to let them know, hey, you're thought of. The holidays can be tough for some people, but we're here for you. Just know that.
Yeah, don't leave people alone. And I think that's amazing that you're out there advocating for, especially our seniors, right? The ones that are out there who may likely be living alone or in a very lonely place. And we can't forget about them. The world is a little crazy right now. Not everyone is comfortable with being in person and those sorts of things. So even just a phone call, right? Or a FaceTime. A lot of our seniors actually can use technology, unlike me, but they can use technology, and you could FaceTime them, right?
Mhm.
Or do some kind of video with
Yes.
them so that they can see your face. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
so
It's I
important.
see it every time I work with a veteran, that many of them that have become friends and family to me, that just knowing that they're not alone. They don't want a handout. They just need to know they're not alone, that someone's there to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the holidays can be hard, and this one in particular, because we did really live in a space last year at the holidays where we couldn't gather in groups and be with each other in most cases. So this year is going to be especially important coming into a second year of potentially not being able to gather in
Yeah.
person. Debra, thank you so much for being on the show. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm so excited that I have met you, although through someplace else, right? And getting you
Yeah.
on the podcast and really helping our community understand that there are resources out there for those of you who want to get in contact with Debra. If you didn't capture the information earlier when she said it out loud, I'm going to put it in the show notes so you can grab it there and just point and click. I'll make sure that her Facebook link is there as well. If you want to give, please know that you can give your time. It doesn't always have to be coming out of your pocketbook. Not everybody has enough in their pocketbook to give that way, but you can certainly give your time, and that is as beneficial to our veteran community as anything else. And you can volunteer in an organization or you can volunteer to an organization. And anybody out there who wants to do that, please let me know or reach out to Debra, and she is definitely connected and can make sure that you get to the right folks. Again, Debra, thank you. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Trisha, and thank you for your service. I really appreciate the opportunity and look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Yes, maybe we could have coffee. That would be amazing.
Sounds great.
All right, excellent. Thank you again, Debra Marshall, for being on the show with me today. And that concludes this week's podcast, Serving the Community.